As in the case of number of war conflicts in the past, when there is an ongoing war, the security measures related to Russian nationals should be stricter than in normal times. So all Russians living in Western countries should be monitored much more than in the past, because they are citizens of a nation that leads an aggressive war. I think I can be sorry for these people, but at the same time, when we look back, when the Second World War started, all Japanese population living in the United States were under strict monitoring regime as well.
Oh my God. Well, if you're African, you understand this guy. He's speaking his mind, right? And he's just telling the things the way he feels. So he's been honest. This is the mentality of these people. Seriously. This is how they think. Okay? So we take everyone from that country, all the Russian nationals that are living in Western Europe, and we put them in a concentration camp, just like the Americans did with the Japanese during the Second World War. 130,000 Japanese in a concentration camp. You think this is normal? What is this? I mean, how come this person here, okay, he's saying this, and he is allowed? I mean, he's the head of the government in Czech Republic, and here he is saying things like this. Russians should be monitored, and he's saying they should be monitored just like the US did during the Second World War with the Japanese people. Something similar to that, right? He's sorry for them. Mate, this is just wrong. And this is what we gain all the time, this anti-Russian rhetoric. People can basically propose human rights violations like this guy is doing right now and just get away with it. Nothing happens. In the West, people just see this normal. I'm sorry, but I have to compare this with colonial times in Africa, where people in the West were living peacefully, whilst people in many countries in Africa, they're pretty much enslaved or under colonialism, which was pretty much slavery, right? And you got a story from the Congo, for example. People that did not bring enough rubber, they got their hands chopped off. Many Europeans knew this, but for them it was fine. They were fine, because at the time that was the rhetoric, right? We need to take over African countries because we need the resources just to make sure that we continue feeding our lives, okay? But these guys doing the exact same thing. Just because the government of Russia decided to go and attack Ukraine, or it was forced to attack Ukraine, he's saying that all Russians, all nationals from Russia living in European countries should be put under a strict control from the intelligence services. Let's continue listening.
That's simply cost of war.
When you say monitoring, what exactly do you mean by that?
I mean, being under the scrutiny of security services.
He said that's the cost of war. How many countries did go to war in the last 10, 20 years? I can tell you one that went to many wars, and it's the USA. And many of those wars, they were completely illegal. It's been proven that they just launched wars against certain countries just to steal natural resources or to change the government in that country. Did the US citizens, did the governments of European countries or any country in the world put the US citizens under, or US nationals, under a strict control like this guy is proposing? So why he thinks other countries should be doing this to Russians today? I mean, this is the kind of rhetoric we get from the West. This is prejudice, okay? And this leads to consequences that they will be difficult to stop or to revert, okay? This guy is basically giving ideas to other people, okay, just to hate Russians, just to put them in concentration camps, and that's it. And here he is, a government representative, saying these kind of things. As I said before, if you're African, you're used to this. People like him, look exactly like him. This is the kind of language you hear from them. And it doesn't hurt them because they don't see the other as a human being or anything like that. Okay? So be careful with this type of people.